Welcome into Bama Central 3 and Out, everyone, with Joey Blackwell and Tony Sukalis. I'm Katie Wyndham. Guys, we've gotten back from SEC Media Days, but still watching it from afar. Today is the day that the media picks their preseason winner for the SEC. And I'm assuming, like, pretty much every year for the last, 8 years, it's going to be Alabama again. I think all three of us and the rest of the media are going to be at a pretty strong consensus that Alabama's going to win the West, Georgia's going to win the East. But outside of those, who do y'all think has the best shot at taking down those two and maybe making an appearance in Atlanta this December?
For both my picks, I picked two teams that have their starting quarterbacks returning. In the West, I have Arkansas, who obviously has KJ Jefferson coming off of a little bit of a downer year for him, but he still performed admirably. He's looking to grow this year. And this is an Arkansas team that quietly won 9 games last year. Yes, they lost to Alabama. They lost a couple of more games, but they still did a solid job in rebuilding under Sam Pittman. And I think this Arkansas team really is a sleeper team in the West. Shifting focus to the East, I have Hendon Hooker, Josh Heupel, and the Tennessee Volunteers. I mean, will they win the East? It's not likely, but at the same time, Tennessee's offense was really, really prolific last year, despite their record, and they're looking to grow this year as well. So will Georgia win the East? Probably, but Tennessee is definitely going to give them a run for their money this year.
Yeah, I agree with you with Arkansas being a sleeper, but I'm going to pick Texas A&M in the West as the biggest challenger. I mean, obviously, this is a team that beat Alabama last year. I don't think they're going to beat Alabama 2 years in a row, but they return a pretty good team. They've got to figure out the quarterback position. Is it going to be Haynes King? Is it going to be LSU transfer Max Johnson? Is it going to be Connor Wigman? I don't know, but whoever gets to pass the ball to Ainias Smith. And talk about players that give Alabama trouble. He is definitely an electric player. They should have a dynamic team. And when you look at Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher is going to be a little bit on the hot seat in terms of the way he's recruiting, the kind of noise he's made. I think it's really time for Texas A&M to be a challenger. And I think that, that's why I'm putting them on this list. When you look on the East, I agree with you too, Joey. I think it's Tennessee. They're a team that's trending in the right direction. I don't really see it from Florida. I don't really see it from, some of the other teams in the East. It's tough because I don't think the East is as good as the West this year. So there's probably more challengers in the West than there are in the East. But I think Tennessee could be a sleeper pick. And you never know how Georgia's going to respond after winning a national championship. And so maybe this Tennessee team could really surprise people this year.
Yeah, I agree, Tony. When you look at the East, it's hard to find anyone that's really going to be a huge challenger to Georgia. A team like Florida is one you normally consider that could be a possibility in the East, but with a new head coach, it's just not likely this year. Just like in the West, you would think LSU is normally a contender, but they also got Brian Kelly, which I think that both those programs are kind of in building mode, and it's probably not going to take them very long. But I just don't think this year's the year, and so. I think we all agree that it's probably going to be Alabama and Georgia, but I also agree that A&M, Jimbo's got a lot to prove this year. He's talked a big game the last couple months and brought in that top recruiting class. And so, obviously that game in October is already circled on a lot of people's calendars. It was mentioned at SEC Media Day is going to be a pretty big revenge game for Alabama, so it's unlikely that A&M wins that game. But the A&M and Arkansas are 2 games to watch on Alabama's schedule this year, and in a little bit we'll find out who the media picked, and I'm sure it will be Alabama and Georgia. But that'll do it for today's Bama Central 3 and Out. For Joey Blackwell and Tony Sukalis, I'm Katie Wyndham. Thanks for watching.